What is up, everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today we have another great breakdown over silver. You guys know silver has been rallying for quite some time now. It is up over 130% year to date. Now, I want to talk about silver and its spot price because it did just eclipse $70 an ounce, which is a huge milestone for silver and the first time in silver's history that we have now passed $60 and $70 respectively. So I plan to break down silver, talk about where their spot price is per ounce currently, where it was in the past, and where we are headed in the future. Now, I hope you guys all had a very, very Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a great New Year's and stay very safe. All I ask for you guys is that you guys do drop a like and subscribe and get ready for the amount of content that I will have out for you guys in 2026. Make sure you guys turn on those post notifications so you guys do not miss a thing. Let's go ahead and jump right into this video. Now, first, I do want to jump onto the charts, take a look at silver, and see how we are currently looking. Is there more upside, or do we need a pullback? I plan to cover all of that, and then we'll go ahead and jump over and take a look at my personal holdings within silver. I have a bunch of physical silver that I do want to show off for you guys, show you guys my average cost on that, and show you guys how much I am currently up on my position. Now, taking a look here at silver on the daily time frame, you guys can see we have seen a absolutely monstrous ripper right here. We had the clearest cup and handle I may have ever seen in my life, and you guys know I sent out that alert for our leaps on silver. We had silver leaps go over 250% in just under a month. That was alerted into the premium Discord. But nonetheless, we were able to get a good entry on most of our physical silver at around $51.90 to $52.02. Now, from there, we absolutely ripped all the way up to $71.57, which is our current all-time high, which was made today. Now, silver has been literally just climbing up. As you guys can see, there really hasn't been a pullback, and we are definitely going to need a pullback soon. In my personal opinion, I believe that we're going to work our way all the way up to $75.65, then come back down, retest $64, and then move up from there. We'll talk about our targets, but that is my outline for now. As you guys can see, coming out of this cup and handle, we had a great move, and I mean absolutely amazing move. We will see as I do measure out my times here. We are eclipsing our 2618 extension already without a pullback. That is absolutely insane. So we could also see a little bit of rejection off of $72.07, as you guys can see from this target currently. That could bring us down to $64 or $63, whichever target we decide to respect. But so far, we really haven't respected any of them, as we have just climbed right through all of our targets. It is very hard to, analyze something like this that literally has just continued to go up. I mean, taking a look at the daily time frame here, I can see that we have 1, 2, 3 red days out of a sea of green. We have been absolutely killing it. Seems like silver is up over 3% every single day, and currently it is up 3.48% today alone. As we switch out to the monthly time frame, things get even more funny. As you guys can see, we absolutely ripped through this all-time high at $48.80. That was about a 45-year cup and handle that we created all the way from those lows where we reached under $12, then rallied all the way back up to $71.40 where we currently sit. But overall, we are definitely going to need a pullback. Obviously, this is unhealthy to sustain for the long term, but overall, I still am very, very bullish on silver. Once again, we are definitely going to need a pullback. This is not going to continue forever. You guys can see as I zoom in here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 green months in a row, with our last or most recent candle being the largest. So we are seeing that we are definitely, getting towards that euphoric feeling for silver. We don't know if there is going to be a crash or whatever is to come. In my opinion, I think that we will just need a bit of a stall out. I think we will need to pull back into around 65 to 64 to 60. Then from there, we can continue higher. Worst case scenario, in my opinion, is that we come all the way back down to $48. And even then, that is not that big of a deal. I would love to continue to buy silver. I have no problem with my silver coming back below break even so that I can buy more at a great price. And over time, we can continue much, much higher. I have zero issue with that. And if you are a shareholder of silver, whether that is physical or you are in shares, I would still recommend that this is a great, great opportunity for you as an investor. Obviously, that is not financial advice. Do your own research on that. But from a technical standpoint, silver is looking absolutely amazing. Now, let's go ahead and break down our price targets that are coming up. Okay, so it is very hard to measure silver and actually find price targets because we have literally blown through them all. But what we can take a look at is the move from the bottom of our cup to the top of our cup. So we'll take the move from the bottom of this cup all the way up to the top at $49.75. And then we'll just go ahead and stack it on top of itself, finding our next price target at $86.95. Now, of course, this is a rough target. None of this is financial advice, and none of these targets are to scale. Of course, this is just the next thing that we're looking at. With all-time highs, there is no resistance. So wherever you're going to find your top, you're going to find your top, and that's the issue with what we are looking at with silver. Because it has been so bullish, we haven't had a pullback that we can measure. The last big pullback that we can measure is taking our fib extension from this low to this high. And once again, we are heading for our 3618 extension, which is pretty crazy. So overall, my next price target is going to be $87. After that, I'm going to be very, very simple with it. I have a price target of $100, $110, and $125. Once we get there, we will reestablish our price targets. But for now, those are very healthy targets for me. I'm eyeing $75.65, $86.95, $110, sorry, $100, $110, and $124 in total. These are my price targets for silver. While yes, they are very rough, that is all we have to go off of right now. Once we get a pullback, we will be able to measure that move and see where we will head higher from there. But in my personal opinion, and this is of course a little bit of hopium, but I do hope that we can get a nice little pullback to around $48. We can measure the move with our fib extension and see what we would actually look like and be targeting up. So what that would look like is something like this, where we were able to take our Fibonacci extension tool from this move to the high, let's say $86, all the way back down to 49. Now we can see our next targets out of there is 118 and 160. So while that pullback would hurt, it would be nicer for a long-term gain and the long-term health of silver overall. Now, this is my rough price targets. Let's go ahead and break down the physical silver that I own. Let's see the average price that I have, and let's see how much we are up on this freaking silver. Now, taking a look at our silver collection, let's go purchase by purchase here. In my first purchase, I bought 42 ounces. Now, the first 20 ounces are these silver buffaloes right here. These are rounds, and I bought these rounds at $52.30. Now, our next little chunk here is these silver coins. These are going to be the golden eagles, and these are absolutely beautiful as well. Now, on that same trip, I was able to pick up a few more coins right here, and this works out to 42 ounces in total. This was my first purchase at $52.30. Now we're going to go ahead and group the last few coins together as they all were purchased individually or maybe two at a time. But overall, all of these coins were purchased pretty much individually here. So taking a look, we do have another beautiful Liberty coin right here, followed up by one of my favorites in the Aztec calendar coin. This one looks really, really cool, and it is very, very, very detailed. The closer you look in, the more things you see, and I think that is so pretty. Now we have my favorite coin coming up next in this Tyler Durden Fight Club edition coin. This is the Zero Hedge coin, and it is one of my favorites. First of all, I love Fight Club. Second of all, I love the way that the coin looks. Now, moving on, we also have our Canadian 30th anniversary coin. Followed up by that, we have another one of my favorites in the Reserve coin right here. This is the 2020 Reserve, where we have this very, very pretty print of a lion on the front. Now, lastly, we have the first coin that I have ever gotten. This is from my boy Andrew. Shout out, Andrew. And this is another golden eagle. Now, I actually did forget. I have one more coin, and that one was gifted to me by my dad. It is in this nice little case right here, and it does serve a good bit of significance. This is a United States Liberty coin. You guys can see it is dated to 1886 to 1986, and this one is very, very pretty as well. Now, this is the full position of silver that I own currently. I have 49 ounces of silver at an average price of $52.70. Now, this is a very, very good position, and I still like my average cost, although I was able to get in late. I was still able to salvage a good bit of upside. We're currently with the spot price sitting at $71.57. I am up almost $1,000. My entry equity was around $2,582. And currently, I am looking at my silver, and it is now worth $3,506, just about $75 away from being up over $1,000 on this position already. Now, this is very, very amazing to see that this position can already be growing so much, and all I have let it do is just sit there and collect dust on my countertop. I don't need to do anything but let this thing sit there and grow over time, and that is what I love about this silver. It is not in a bank. I don't have to let anybody regulate it. I don't have to worry about withdrawals or paying taxes on it if I want to pull it out of Robinhood. I don't need to worry about any of that. I go to my dealer, I buy my silver, I let it sit, and in 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, or whenever my kids are old enough, they will go sell that silver for 100, 200, 3,000, $1 million an ounce. I don't know. But overall, I am not selling the silver. I love the way that silver is continuing to move. I do not care what silver is going to do over the next week, month, or year. I care what silver is going to do over the next decade, 2 decades, 3 decades, and my entire lifetime. So I'm going to keep taking a look at silver here, and I still think that it looks amazing. But overall, this is my full position in silver. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Now, before I do head out, I want to give a huge shout out to my boy Andrew. Andrew is always commenting in the chats down below, and he was able to hook me up with my first ever ounce of silver. He has been absolutely amazing to me, and he helped me push myself to do more research on silver, understand the metal more, and end up actually buying the amount of silver that I currently own today. Now, thank you for hooking me up with that. Also, thank you for hooking me up with this sweet piece of Bitcoin embedded copper. Now, copper is a very interesting metal that I am looking to get into soon. I also do want to cover a few other quick pieces that I did purchase. I was able to get this nice gold backed card. This is a 2,000th of an ounce, I believe. So very, very small amount of gold, not worth very much, but a very, very cool thing to add to this collection. Has a nice little back right here, but it was a little throw in on a Black Friday purchase that I had on a lot of the silver. And lastly, I also have this nice little piece of gold right here. I believe this is a 200th. So very, very small purchases on gold here, but in the next year, I do want to get my first ounce of gold. Gold crossed $4,500 an ounce right there today. So a little bit heavy in my pockets right now. I don't know if I got the bread for that, but we will get there soon. I will be purchasing my first ounce of silver in 2026, and y'all can count on that. You guys will definitely be seeing a video about that coming sometime later next year. But that is all I have for you guys. Once again, I hope you guys had a very Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a great New Year's. Please be safe and come back to 2026 ready to trade because y'all know we are about to get after it. Now, hope you all have a good one. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's. Check out the two videos on each side of me. Drop a like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see y'all in the next video.